Hello, Gabriel Blake.
Hey, Gabriel Jose.
Where are we today?
I'm in my living room quarantining again.
That's cool. I'm also in my living room. We don't share living rooms, quarantining by myself.
Theoretically, it's a little unclear, but in just 11 days, we could be recording in an outdoor bar, but
In
it's not a
outdoor
sure
bar.
thing. It depends on people's interpretation of phase two in San Francisco opening.
I had a feeling that that's going to be basically starting over. How crazy people are going to go over this. Huh?
Well,
Let's see how that goes. So today we watched The Room, the very famous 2003 romance drama, according to the description by
it's a
Tommy
romance
Wiseau.
drama.
It's a romance drama by Tommy Wiseau, and I think that this was my pick. I think
Oh, oh, oh God, yes, this was your pick.
this
This
was my
goes,
pick. This, I think that this was my pick. So I went with it because when we started talking about Suspiria, and we saw where it was going, about like just not really understanding why it was such a cult movie with the kind of quality that we saw on it. I wonder if actually the room was the other way around. That it was like a cult movie that it was actually better than what people usually say about it.
so, so had you seen it before?
No, I had only watched the Disaster
Disaster.
Artist.
Okay, so we had both seen The Disaster Artist. Obviously, some clips on YouTube over the years,
Mm-hmm.
but neither of us had actually seen the full movie.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Correct. That's the case. So, what did you think of it? What is it about? If you can tell me now, after watching it.
According to IMDb, Tommy Wiseau plays a bank executive. Did you ever understand he worked at a bank?
Oh yeah, he mentioned a couple of times because a couple of times they told him he's like, "Oh, I'm going to be like checking about mortgages." He's like, "Yeah, man, come and I'll talk." Yeah,
He laughed at everything.
yep.
So Johnny is a successful bank executive who lives quietly in a San Francisco townhouse, which, by the way, that was like a house right on the Palace of Fine Arts.
You think I couldn't actually pinpoint what it was because most of the scenes where he's walking around, it almost felt like he was in Knoxville. You know?
You could have had walking around, and I could be wrong, but I recognize that house. It's right
Oh, you
by
do? Okay.
Palace of Fine Arts. And if you see, he's not pulling up to a garage, he's pulling up to a house. It looks like anyway, whatever. That's like a
No.
$15 million house, whatever. Tommy Wiseau. Um, lives in San Francisco. He's engaged to really a piece of shit named Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
She just is real human garbage. Um, she's not a balanced character at all. She seduces Johnny's best friend. What was his name? Mark.
Mark, yeah.
And yeah, they fuck, and then apparently, I don't know. This is so stupid.
I love, I love that description on Google. It's almost exactly as what you read on IMDb, but there is like a small difference that is already preparing you about like what you're going to watch. That is, John is a successful banker who lives happily in a San Francisco townhouse with his fiancée, Lisa. One day, inexplicably, she gets bored of him and decides to seduce Johnny's best friend, Mark. You can go first, giving your opinion. Like this is a masterpiece of terrible. Is that everything about it is like just bad.
Yeah. So now that you brought Suspiria into the conversation, I mean, this, in terms of filmmaking, the original Suspiria is competent. In terms
Yep.
of storytelling, it's awful. Um, in this movie, there's no storytelling or acting or anything really. Like, things literally don't make sense. Like,
Yeah. So it almost felt like he was rewriting the story along the way that, after watching The Disaster Artist, probably that was the case according to the story that they present there. But what I love is that there are some scenes that they don't make any kind of sense.
No
that
sense.
they shouldn't be there at all. That it almost feels like, look, you recorded this earlier on, and it's like now you don't know what to do with it. So, for example, the scene when they are all of them like wearing the smoking,
Up on the
is that
ceiling, on
no,
the
no,
roof. I
no,
mean,
no, no, not on the roof. Everyone's like just wearing a smoking, like they're like dressed up,
yeah.
like if they were going to go to a wedding,
Oh
no?
yeah, and they start to play catch.
Yeah, but it's the kind of, and they start like playing catch, and there's this awkward scene when the psychologist falls, and they start
Right
like just
next to the
laughing at it,
camera, and
and
then
that's
they all run and pose right behind him.
exactly. But it almost feels like, okay, that scene maybe was for preparing for a wedding, but right now, what is the point of it? It's like, why did you have it so early? So many times around the movie, I was like feeling confused about like, wait, is this the same day? How long has this happened since the last time that they actually mentioned what day is it? Is it still like their birthday? His birthday is still next week? Are they getting married? And I even thought that at the beginning they say we're getting married next week, and then it was next month.
It's really a bizarre film. I personally am not someone. Well, I've hate watched some stuff several times. I've seen The Core many times. Um,
Because it reminded you about how good Sunshine is.
I've watched Sunshine because it's a very good film. Um, so I'm just
The
not
last
one
there
that
too.
likes movies that are so bad that they're quote unquote good. Um, so maybe this isn't the movie for me. I just found it a little bit boring, like a lot boring. None of it made sense. There wasn't any, at least with what is the movie you introduced me to that everyone, Showgirls.
Yes, yeah.
At least there is some like actual drama, and
Oh
that
yeah, there is a
there's like
coherent.
no drama.
Yeah, there's a coherent story there. You can
Yeah,
actually just watch it. There is some kind of linearity. They don't even have flashbacks or anything like that. It's that the characters are fleshed out, but the characters are garbage. It's more like just getting a turd and just shaping it as the David of Michelangelo. And it's like, it's true. It looks like David of Michelangelo, but it's still a turd.
yeah.
So from that perspective, I think I agree with you that the Suspiria was trying to do something. It didn't work as probably some people say that it did. This movie, I had no idea what he was trying to do.
And maybe it ages like a fine wine. Like if we were to watch it 4 more times, we'd find it funnier. But I never even laughed. I was just like, this man is kind of sad.
I laugh out loud like multiple times,
The
but
only
multiple
one
times.
I laughed in is when he walks into the to buy flowers, and she's like, "Oh, Johnny, I didn't know it was you. Hi, doggy. Bye."
Well, he actually just took off the glasses. Yeah, I actually had to watch like twice. That's a scene, because I was trying to just pinpoint the flower shop. But it's like also the scene that they repeat 100 times in the Disaster Artist. I didn't hear her. I didn't hear her. No, that's a lie. Oh, hello, Mark.
Oh, hi, dog.
That's
Like so,
hilarious.
those tiny little clips that look so ridiculous, they play great. Like in memes on YouTube, it's funny to watch because they're so awkward. But when you stitch together an hour and 40 minutes of these awkward, like non-story elements, it doesn't work for me as like it's so bad it's good, and it doesn't work on any other level.
No, I think that is so bad that is terrible. I don't think that it actually just cross into is good. Because at least, as you were saying with Showgirls or The Core, that they are bad movies, that they are enjoyable, is that they are movies. This is a collection of scenes that they are like just not completely connected. So from that perspective, I had a feeling that I had to take this scene without thinking about what I have watched so far.
In your entire life, so
In
there
my
was no
entire
standard.
life, no, in the movie. It's like, okay, I'm 1 hour into the movie, but nothing that I watched before this point has prepared me for this scene. Because it may be connected in a complete random way. Is what I was thinking when I see everyone like dress up. Is like, is this the wedding? Or when they start like preparing for the party, it's like, wait a second, is the party still going on? Like,
And
what?
after like she was like, I'm gonna leave Tommy, and then she just announces that she's carrying his baby, and they have a party, and I was like, what is?
And there is no resolution to that. It's like, no one tells. I mean, there are a couple of people that feel like, you are terrible, Lisa. You shouldn't be doing that. Johnny is a good guy. But I don't know, like, but shouldn't, I don't know, like Johnny say something about this? Should there be like some kind of, I don't know, like follow-ups to this? It's just, it's clear that he also wrote the screenplay because it makes no sense. Is that this a person like deprived completely of talent?
Yeah, 100%. There's no talent there, none.
So from that perspective, I had to say that it's a movie that I was wondering when I was watching. I wanted to ask you if you could see a point in history where they would actually play this in film studies in college,
I
like
don't think so ever. I mean, do you ever hear about that really bad movie that was released in the 60s that everybody hate watches? It's just not.
Suspiria.
Fuck you.
No, let me just check.
That
What
was
in
like
Bergman?
79, wasn't it?
What in Bergman movies were in the 60s? No, 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 man. I'm just giving you shit.
I
What,
don't think so.
Manos?
There's nothing to study there.
Well, but the thing is, like, it almost feels like everything is not only like doing a amateurist kind of way. It's beyond that. So I completely understand that James Franco did a movie about this because it's like it's amazing. It's like usually you're going to be like needing some kind of support from the studios or some people that they have money and they're going to be like caring about what you do with the money. They expect like some kind of return of investment. This guy did it in the perspective that look, I have the money and I think that I know better.
I wonder if the movie has become profitable at some point in the last, 17 years?
Mm, I wouldn't
It
go that
only
far.
cost, wasn't the budget like 5 million? I'm sure that it's made that much. I
Six
mean, it plays in
millions.
San Francisco. It plays in San Francisco every month.
Sure, but it's like you have to probably just play like for what 200 years until you can just recoup your investment, for just a single room, just a single theater playing it once a month.
Do you think he got any money from the disaster artist?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it is.
Well,
I mean, he could actually have to sell some kind of release of images because they used the original movie.
but I don't think that's true. Like that movie about the Fox news anchors, they didn't pay them any money to use their person. Some of them didn't even know it was happening.
Yeah, but this is based on a movie. It's like I don't know, but I had a feeling that it could be like
Oh,
just a difference,
yeah, that makes sense. So the
There is a
rights to
different
the
protection.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, and besides that, at the end, they actually use the original scenes and compare side by side. That is like now that I want to watch the Disaster Artist again after watching this.
So would you, one, ever watch this again, and two, ever recommend it to somebody?
Yes and yes, without hesitation. I already talked with the
Why?
people because I told you it's like I like bad cinema. I like it, and I think that is like this is so bad, so atrociously bad. From the cinematography perspective, is like there is a different league. There are not so many movies that they are this bad.
I'm sure they are. They just don't get watched.
There are not so many movies that they have this budget, and this kind of passion behind.
Let me
And they're
introduce
this
you
bad.
to Michael Bay.
Michael Bay is actually profitable. He knows what people want. People want shit.
Yep, and Megan
And he
Fox.
does it. He's like, I don't exactly know what this guy was trying to do. I don't.
I think he
Is
needed to act out his personal fears and have the satisfying experience, the pain everyone that he loved would experience if they um,
just
betrayed
abandon
him.
him? Yeah. Yeah, no, it could be, but honestly, I will watch it again, like drunk or high, and with people that they also want to watch like a terrible movie for just laughing at it. I wouldn't
Recently,
recommend.
thanks to you, I've gotten into weed. And now that you say that, I actually think this would be funny to watch very high, but
Yeah.
very high. Like where I could also be watching Fail Army on YouTube.
Yeah, because in any case, it's not going to make sense in any case when you are the high, so it doesn't really matter. God, do you like the character progression of Mark?
Do you use that term ironically? I mean, what
Maybe.
character?
Maybe.
He's my best friend. Okay, let's have sex.
Yeah. I would never do it. 3 seconds later, he's like, okay, started to kiss me. I also love, and this is like pretty awkward, and I was reading like some interviews and stuff about Tommy Wiseau, how in the first scene when he's like just showing his ass, fucking having sex with the actress, but he's like just trying to penetrate his belly, her belly. It's like, doesn't go there. I think that in the movie they mentioned in the disaster artist they mentioned something, but it was the kind of thing that he was like just using the movie as a vehicle for upselling himself, for just trying to build up like his self-esteem, or like how he sees himself and projecting that. And ever since, like, probably this guy never had sex in his whole life.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah. And I also like how Lisa has to always be displaying like her teeth, like gratuitous teeth. So
it's so weird to me. This film was made in 2003, which, by the way, we pretty much had cell phones in the late 90s, right? And I thought this film was like filmed in 90, maybe 89.
It's timeless.
Timeless. It is timeless. This succeeded where Clueless couldn't ever.
Exactly. So did you know the guy that only plays that singular scene of Attack? The scene with the drugs? I love that scene. I was just laughing, like just crying out of
Wait,
laugh.
the one where
The little kid, the
the guy with
25-year-old
the
little
gun
kid.
was acting his little heart out. You could see all the years of night acting classes, and this was his big moment. I actually feel bad for the
Yeah. And that guy is a politician now.
He's a what?
He's a politician.
Wow.
Yep. So I love that scene when then is the mother and Lisa talking with him. Like, why did you do that? What did you do with the drugs? I was impressed. Let's just leave it there.
And the mom kept saying, where would you even meet someone like that? Where would you even meet someone like that?
While Lisa is like completely freaking out, like just overacting completely.
And that conversation where the little boy, what's his name?
Eddie?
Eddie or whatever tells
Denny. Yeah.
Denny tells Tommy he's in love with his girlfriend, and he's like, it's okay.
Yeah. Dude, I'm cool,
just
man.
So bizarre. I don't understand any of it.
I think that it was his way of portraying himself as not jealous whatsoever, and just taking like the high road.
Trustful of other people.
Yeah. And then his best friend betrayed him over and over and over.
Because of the Golden Heart trilogy, I would genuinely like to see Lars von Trier direct this film of the man that's too good and the world just eats him up and destroys him.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, this movie is garbage. So when
I'm
you
so
told
curious
me,
to hear your score.
so when you actually told me, when you were asking me if I could recommend it, yeah, I could recommend it for a subset of people. I would have recommended like, hey, did you watch any good movie lately? I couldn't be saying like, yeah, I watched The Room. It's like, I would never say that.
But I bet you will. People, like, tomorrow if you have a meeting with your team, they're going to be like, anybody watching anything? You will absolutely say, I watched The Room. Let's talk about The Room.
No, I wouldn't say let's talk about The Room, but probably I would say like, I watched The Room, and then I actually would be like, just looking into the spreadsheet, and then I would just like pick up like the most obscure movie for just contrasting this. It's like, I also watch, like a spring, summer, fall, winter, and spring again. There is this Korean film from Kim Ki-duk. You guys watch
probably
it?
have never heard of it, but
Yeah, you never heard of it. It's too good for you. But I watched The Room too. But I also like good cinema. So from that perspective, I would recommend it, at least to a set of people. I will watch it again. If I'm going to remember everything that happens in this movie, I don't think so. I don't think that there is any kind of coherent way of remembering anything about this movie. Except like you are tearing me apart, Lisa. And if this is a movie that there is like artistically pleasing, I would say no. Hell No, there is nothing about this movie that is artistically pleasing.
I liked the opening, the calm shots of San Francisco all over. They had a shot from Sausalito looking at the city. I was like, oh, well, that was kind of nice.
I like that right now movies and series that they are set in San Francisco, they love to do that. They love to shoot all over San Francisco and just say like, hey, yes, we are in San Francisco. We can afford the production cost of shooting in San Francisco, so we better get most of the value out of it. In
But
this
isn't that
one,
what they did? There's a few shots in San Francisco, but they built sets in LA. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, basically the room is a room.
Uh-huh.
So there are like very few, and you can see like from miles away that there is a green screen behind the
Oh, the
rooftop.
green screen is so bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad. And it's
So,
different every time they're on the roof. Like it should have the same view.
but no, it always changes a bit. It's like the building moves. It's like it's so amazing that it moves around San Francisco. But the thing is that it gets to a point that they try to overuse the shots that they have from San Francisco, and they may have only scenes that they last 30 seconds to a minute, and they do this kind of interlude again of showing San Francisco, and then another 30 seconds or 1 minute a scene, and then another interlude with the same music on top of it. It's just bad from the beginning to the end. It's just bad. But that's the reason what I think is like it will be interesting to watch it from a critical perspective and just analyze everything that is wrong.
I
Or
don't
just
think you understand what the word interesting means.
I think that we have a different set of interests. What I'm saying is that there is a lot of material for just giving an scene and just to analyze everything that is wrong about it.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's just, it feels like judging somebody who competed in the Special Olympics.
Oh my God, I was thinking about telling you that.
How much fun is it to rip apart the performance of someone in the Special Olympics? It's not very fun because
Yeah, they
that
did
makes you
their
a bad
best.
person.
Well, they did their best. It's true. It's that maybe Tommy Wiseau is not capable of more. And even like when you see in the disaster artist, until they are not in the opening night, he still thinks that what he did was good. Until people start like just laughing at it, when he actually just comes to terms, okay, what I did is garbage, but at least it's a garbage that people can enjoy. Because I can
Now,
tell you,
yeah,
in
I
this
should go back and
movie,
rewatch that.
the what?
I should go back and rewatch The Disaster Artist, but go ahead.
If this movie was 10 times better, it would be just mediocre, unforgettable TV film.
So what is your score?
My score is going to be a 2.
I hadn't picked. It's either 0.5 or 1. I mean, I only, if it's 1, it's only because I recognize some of the places in San Francisco. And that's it. Oh, look, that's a dive bar I like.
Did they actually show any dive bar?
No, they don't. But like they drive past Hotel Huntington and like there's all
Yeah,
these places I know.
yeah. No, there are several times that they are like a couple of blocks away from my place. And something that I was wondering is that I wonder if the owners of the house in front of the one that they park multiple times, where he supposedly lives, because he's the only person that is shown in front of the house. No one else was paid a trip to San Francisco.
But everyone, all the cast, they use it to make out. They just like
Yeah.
Lisa hangs out with her mom all the time, who just drops by. Test came back. I've got cancer.
Yeah, let's laugh a bit about it. So I wonder if the owners of the house they ever requested for those scenes to get deleted because I don't think that they ever got asked for permission.
I don't think you could ask that. They don't. I mean, if you're filming from the street, that's legal.
No, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. When the movie is so bad, I don't know if it actually can
It
be
opens up
subject to the
a
same. Yeah,
legal
I don't know
opportunity. Well,
if the same laws apply on these cases.
if something is this bad,
Yeah,
we'll let you
yeah.
request.
Who will just study the situation? It's a case by case
So
basis.
you consider this on the same level as Celine Dion goes voting?
Celine Dion goes voting. I actually give it a 3.
So right in the same. They're in the same ballpark. These two.
they're in the same ballpark because I think that artistically Celine Dion Ghost Boarding has something. It has a narrative that it may make not too much sense, but at least
No,
it's a
it does
narrative.
not make sense.
It's a narrative. I'm not going to say that it's a good narrative. It's a narrative. This movie does it, but it's like at least this is not 3 hours of bullshit.
So if this is not a one for you, give me an example of a one for you.
The Seventh Seal.
Oh,
No, let me
I
just
will
think.
fucking murder you.
Let me just think of one. I don't know, Armageddon maybe?
You think The Room
No, because it has an
is
Aerosmith
better
song.
than the Criterion Collection member Armageddon?
That's true. It has a Criterion collection. I should at least respect that. No, I don't know, man. I don't know what would be a one or a zero.
I'm curious for you to.
So
It's
if this
your
movie,
mission to find a movie you think is worse than The Room.
but once again, I laugh at this. I laugh at this multiple times. And with the scenes that I didn't know that they were going to be so bad. It was not a bit more like, okay, the disaster artist prepared me for this. It's like, no, there were scenes here that they were gold. They were comedy gold for me. So from that perspective, it's like you said, and I completely agree, it's like 90 minutes of bullshit. It's true. But at the same time, for me, it didn't feel long.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's the reason why I shoot. If you actually can bring a movie that is this bad, but is not laughable, yeah, that would be a one or a zero directly.
Okay, I see. I'll allow it.
And I, and I also think that there is some kind of merit about doing something so bad.
And what is that merit?
I don't know. I don't know. It's like if I try to do something this bad, I don't think that I would succeed. Because at least I would have like some kind of respect for there has to be a narrative. There has to be like something from the beginning to the end. There has to be a linear story here. Even
Right.
if it's not linear, there has to be something.
Oh God, it made
Yeah.
no sense. I really genuinely thought he was going to wrap things up at the end. I was like, there will be a resolution. I was so naive. Nope.
Oh no, man. I honestly, I will watch it again, and I can actually see myself watching this less than a year from now again.
Will you watch it ultimately the same amount or less or more than Showgirls?
Less.
Because Showgirls is better.
Showgirls is definitely better. And don't ask me to score Showgirls.
Why? I mean, 10.
Because probably, I will actually go with 2. 1 and 2.
I got nothing, man. Oh, that's right. Because you told Amazon it didn't come, and so they sent you a new one, right?
And then the first one arrived. I never thought it. At that point, I felt like just embarrassed about like, no, I'm not going to be like reaching the customer service for telling them that they sent me 2 copies of Showgirls. I don't want to recognize that I ordered this, even once. So, I don't know. I found it enjoyable. So, what are we watching? Or do we need to talk anything else about The Room?
Next, we're going to watch, despite my despising listening to Montreal residents speak French like they have marbles in their mouth, we're going to watch a French-Canadian film called Tom at the Farm.
Uh-huh. So, do you speak French?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Let's come across as intellectual. Yes. Oui.
Ouais.
Ooh la la. Baguette. Yes, baguette. Okay, man. Well, this was fun. This was, something
Good
that I really need to do.
Another solid Jose recommendation.
Okay, man. Okay. At least it was not 3 hours this time.
Until next time.
Next time. Wash your hands, maybe?
Wash your hands. Yeah.
Bye.